and welcome to Daily Interlake News Now. I'm your host, Taylor Inman. We're taking a look at some of last week's biggest headlines and what's coming up for the Flathead Valley. In this week's Deep Dive segment, I chat with ImagineIF Youth Services Librarian Becca Johnson and Teen Services Librarian Starr White, who give us a look into what they have planned for this year's summer experience. But first, here are some headlines. Northwest Montana's mountain snowpack is nearly melted out already, setting up a dire forecast of below normal water supply for rivers across the region. USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service Water Supply Specialist Eric Larson said, "You're not wrong if you felt like the snow disappeared quickly this spring." According to Larson, warmer than normal temperatures in May resulted in rapid snowmelt. Weather stations across Montana melted out in about 10 to 20 days earlier than normal. During the first several days of May and again in mid-month, high mountain elevations in Montana reached 70 degrees. Outside of those dates, the daily average temperatures were closer to normal, but still warmer than normal. For example, the snowpack totally melted out at Noisy Basin in the Swan Mountains on June 6. There is more than 80 inches of snow on the ground at the Snowtail Station at the beginning of May. The snowpack at Flat Top Mountain and Glacier National Park is all but gone as well, with just 2 inches on the ground last Thursday. Typically, that site holds snowpack well into July. Almost 70% of NRCS snow monitoring stations measured on June 1st are snow-free. For many, this is an earlier than normal meltout. June 1st seasonal water supply forecasts range from well above normal to well below normal in Montana. Forecasts are lowest in northwest Montana and the northern Rocky Mountain front, where many stream flows are expected to be at about 60 to 70% of normal. Some forecasts within that region, including all forks of the Flathead River, indicate stream flows will be less than 60% of normal through September. Larson said regardless of the location, above-average precipitation would be ideal in June before heading into the drier months of summer. The Kalispell Chamber of Commerce hopes to have a new home secured by October or November. President Lorraine Clarnell told the news to local business leaders last week. Chamber officials have been searching for a suitable replacement of their current home, a former Great Northern Railway depot building leased from the city of Kalispell, for about a year and a half, but say that the homeless activity in the park has forced them to speed up the organization's timeline. The chamber is employing a security guard at the cost of $1,800 a week. Clarno said at a June 6 meeting of the Kalispell Business Improvement District that it's not a sustainable arrangement. Chamber staff will work remotely from June 9th until a new office location is secured. The visitor center, housed in the same building, will be relocated to the Kalispell Grand Hotel on South Main Street. The Chamber's board will discuss the organization's options at a June 27th meeting, with the worst-case scenario requiring administrative staff to work remotely through the end of the year. Though word of the Chamber's departure from the former railroad building emerged just last week, proposals for the future of the space have already sprung up. Members of the ImagineIF Libraries Board of Trustees have since expressed interest in moving the Kalispell branch to the spot, which they see as centrally located. Meanwhile, Kalispell City Manager Doug Russell said at a June 5th City Council meeting that the municipality is considering moving law enforcement to the location in part to deter the presence of homeless people in the area. Earlier this year, the Kalispell City Council approved several public space-related ordinances aimed at preventing homeless people from congregating in municipal parks. Officials temporarily shuttered the gazebo at Depot Park, formerly an impromptu shelter for a few of the city's homeless, during those conversations. A rafting guide was injured in a bear attack early last Wednesday morning while camping on the Middle Fork of the Flathead River. According to state wildlife officials, the bear encounter occurred at approximately 6 a.m. near Nyack on the southwest side of Glacier National Park. The victim was treated for non-life-threatening injuries at Logan Health in Whitefish. State officials were searching for the bear as of Wednesday evening. Officials report that a commercial raft company was on a guided overnight trip with 2 guides and 3 clients when the bear entered camp. The victim, an adult female guide, said she was sleeping outside on the ground when she sustained injuries from what is believed to be a black bear. Officials said bear spray was deployed, but the bear returned multiple times to camp. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks bear conflict specialists were investigating the incident, along with officials from the National Park Service and the Forest Service. According to Forest Service information, bears regularly swim across the open sections of river at Nyack. In the spring, bears eat the first green plants found growing along the river's gravel banks. Wildlife officials note that the majority of human-bear conflicts involve a bear protecting their young or a food source. The majority of bear encounters do not involve conflict. People recreating in bear country are advised to stay alert and to carry bear spray close and know how to use it. Food and anything with a scent should be properly stored in bear boxes, hard-sided vehicles, bear-resistant containers, or with electric fencing. Read those full stories at dailyinterlake.com. Now on to our deep dive segment. Every year at ImagineIF, more than 100 kids and teens flock to their local library to participate in summer experience. Much like a summer reading program, Youth Services Librarian Becca Johnson and Teen Services Librarian Starr White give us a look at what they have planned this year. I'm here with Becca and Starr from ImagineIF Libraries. Thanks for joining us, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. So they're here to talk about summer experience at ImagineIF. I thought a good place to start would be for people who aren't familiar. Could you kind of explain what summer experience is?
Sure. So our summer experience is a traditional summer reading program that libraries all over the United States have. And it is a way to encourage kids to keep reading and enjoying books, but also just to continue learning during the summer months while they're not in school.
Yeah. So how many kids and teens do you have typically sign up? Because it's a pretty popular program, yeah?
Absolutely. Last year we had over 400 teens pick up game boards. And with our programs, we had 137 participants. We're hoping this year to increase that with the goal of 500 game boards and 215 participants.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And for children, last year we had just under 1,000 kids. So I'm in charge of kids birth to 5th grade. So in that age group, for our at-home experience, we had just under 1,000 kids sign up. And then for our programs at the library, we had 32 programs last summer for preschool age kids, and about 800 kids came to those. And then for elementary age kids, we do like a fun science project once a week. We had 19 of those programs, and 325 kids came to that.
Awesome. So how is the summer experience different from like a summer reading program that you typically see at libraries? Is it the same, or what's the difference there?
There are definitely the same components, but we, maybe about 10 years ago, maybe not quite 10 years ago, we started calling our summer reading program Summer Experience to reflect our goals at the library to be more hands-on and to encourage kids to look at how reading is a part of our everyday life. And we have these experiences throughout the day, and children have experiences all the time, but often those experiences are intertwined with learning and reading. So in addition to putting a lot of emphasis and encouraging children to continue enjoying books, we also want to kind of look at maybe hands-on activities that are STEM related, or getting kids outside and exploring the world around them. And often those activities will lead them back to the library or to kind of learn more about a certain subject.
From my experience, the summer reading program and summer experience is extremely similar. However, with the at-home portion is usually based on number of pages read or number of time spent reading. However, with the teen game boards, we have specific experiences as well as reading challenges. So we have go put your feet in a river as one of the experiences, or enjoy a night underneath the stars and learn about constellation as a example experience. So it is more of learning and an adventure rather than just focusing on pages read.
Yeah, definitely. And what a fun way to get kids involved and engaged outside. In our area, they're most likely going to want to be outside anyway. So, or participating in being outside with their parents. So yeah, that's a really fun aspect to it. So what do we got going on for the kids this year?
All right, so we're excited about this year's lineup of themes that we've got going on. We try to incorporate a lot of science into our programs, but also just, outdoor nature, art, sometimes some technology or building. So this year for our library programs that happen weekly for all ages, and that's babies, preschoolers, and kids up to 5th grade. The themes that we have this year are hide, squish, bake, home, farm, and shape. Those are the 7 themes that we've got going on. We'll be doing a lot of hands-on, some messy things, some great art projects that involve squeegees, some things like that. So that's our library programs. As far as what we have going on for kids to take home and to experience at home, this year we're doing something called a summer scrapbook. So when kids come into the library and register for summer experience, they will be given an empty scrapbook that they can decorate. And they'll also be given, they can choose from 2 different sheets of stickers and also choose a cool writing utensil. The stickers are something that we designed, and a library advisor, Sierra Benjamin, did the artwork for them. And those stickers are designed to give kids their reading and activity challenges. So they will incorporate those stickers in making their journal, but it might give them some ideas of what are the silly books you read this summer? What are the best books? What kinds of water activities did you do? Those types of ideas.
Fun. What about the teens?
Yes, so this year we have the Teen Expedition Game Board, and that would be the aspect that they take home to do. There's going to be various challenges, and after completing 10 of those challenges, they can come in and receive a prize. Our challenges, like I stated before, have goals of reading, but there's also other things like hiking, trying new foods, and learning new skills. After they completed the 10 tasks, they can come in. Our prizes this year include Woodland Water Park splash passes, movie passes, gift cards, and what we're really excited about is our solar USB chargers.
Oh,
Now, besides the game boards, they can come into the library, and all locations will have an area called Repurpose Reads. So all the books that were weeded from the teen collection this year, we have repurposed and we'll be giving away for free to any teens that want them, so they can come in and check out those shelves. Now, for our programs, we split it up this year into having workshops and events. This is the first time that I know of that we're having events. Our big events are our Super Smash Brothers tournaments. Yes, it is going to be so much fun. Pizza, prizes, gaming. You can't get any better than that. And our other huge event is Anime at Dusk. We're hoping to have similar things to Anime at Dusk. This will be the inaugural iteration of this program. The fishing game has graciously allowed us to use the pavilion at Creston Fishery. Thank you, Becca. There we are going to set up a huge 200-foot screen and show an anime movie. The anime movie was voted on by the teens at Kalispell through our gem vote wall, and this time around we are going to show FairyTale A Dragon Cry. So we're super excited about having those 2 events, and we're also doing our normal workshops. This year we're offering 3. Quick printmaking, which is going to be similar vibe to doing screen printing, but tweaked a little bit and done a lot quicker. We have a venture notebook painting where they're going to be painting the cover of a notebook, and survival gear DIY where we're going to be making paracords using 3D printed looms and a few other survival items using 3D printed parts.
Oh, that's really interesting. And you guys have been working to get more teens into the library. Can you tell me a little bit about what you've been doing and how that's going?
Absolutely. We've been reimagining the space for the last 2 years. We focused at our Kalispell library and brought in all kinds of new elements, including 2 computers, manipulatives and fidget toys out on the tables, Legos, as well as a community board where teens sit down, they create beautiful artwork, and they post it on our community board, which we're actually going to expand this year and add a few more panels because it's been so popular. As well as we decorate the space. The theme was Thrive, and we're super proud of how it turned out and how welcoming it is. Our attention is turning towards Columbia Falls right now. Its future theme is going to be boho, and we're going to incorporate a lot of the fun aspects that we did in Kalispell to Columbia Falls, but have it more of beige tones and just create a wonderful, welcoming atmosphere there too.
Yeah. When you go up there, it is really nice. You've got a lot of greenery. It's definitely a place where teens would want to hang out for sure. How else do you guys come up with programming for the summertime?
So we have a team of people at the library that work on programming, and Starr and I lead those 2 teams. So we have a teen team and a youth services or children's team. And as a group, we do a brainstorming session usually before we start figuring out what we want to do for summer. But it really happens continuously all year long. I think I've had, ideas for summer in December, but also during the summer for the next summer. Like it might be just something that I notice is working really well. And so we want to be able to capture all of those ideas that we have throughout the year. So we meet as a team, we throw a bunch of ideas out, and then we work through that together to kind of come up with our solid set of themes. Starr's, her process is a little bit different. She's able to really include the teens and being able to give a voice to what they want to see. So I'll let her talk about that.
Yes, about 10 months ago, we developed a way of surveying the teams due to the fact that we really wanted them involved and we wanted them to lead the way and tell us exactly what they wanted. So in the past, there was a voting system at the library that they used for choosing the best ice cream flavor in town. It was giant tubes, and they placed, I believe, buttons into it. And it was so much fun that years later, everyone was still talking about it. So we scaled it down, and we have a wall now that can have up to 12 tubes in it. Each tube will represent an answer, and then we ask the teens questions. They were able to actually choose the game board theme for this year. They have chosen many of the elements that you see in our programming, including telling me that Smash Brothers is the ultimate game that they want to play. Every month we put up a different question. This month they're voting on what games they want included in Level Up. Team has been having a lot of fun with incorporating the teens' ideas and figuring out what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go with team programming.
Yeah, definitely. So what is your respective, favorite part of summer experience?
Let's see. Well, summer is typically pretty busy, and it can be a little chaotic at times in the children's department, but that's my favorite part. I feel like I often see new faces, meet new people. Sometimes it's folks that are just visiting, and like me, those people always go to the library when they're out somewhere else. So I love introducing new families to the library. I love seeing them come in and enjoy our space, and being able to, maybe just take some time when it's really hot outside to let their kids play, explore the books, explore the interactives that we have. But really, I think ultimately I enjoy watching kids experience something and engaging in a process. So I'm less focused on the outcome of, how many books kids read in the summer. My main goal is just to see that they are engaged in learning and excited about visiting the library and taking books home.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the summer experience is really the connections. It's the same idea. We get a lot of new faces in, and there's tons of discoveries and aha moments. It's really fun to even have one-on-one conversations with the teens and see how they did with their expedition game boards and what was their favorite task that they completed, and sit there and hear how they went on an incredible hike that they never would have without that prompt. Or the person that finally sits there and goes, I understand how to weave paracord. I get it now, and get so excited that they haven't had that chance before. Or the person that comes in dressed up in the most amazing cosplay to have a wonderful night sitting underneath the stars and watching an anime movie with all their friends.
That's adorable. Okay, let's see here. What is the aim of programs like this in the summertime for kids?
The aim started with filling the gap during summer. There was a long history of slipping, especially in reading level, during the summer break. So originally, the idea of the summer reading program was to provide something fun and interactive that could fill that educational gap. But it's completely evolved from there to include a really precious time where we can work with the youth and develop their interests, their goals, and have the opportunity to not only focus on reading, but what literacy really leads to. So even if it's playing a board game, you have to be able to comprehend and read those instructions. They're very, very detailed, and it takes a lot of communication to be able to sit there and actually explain yourself, and to be able to have those aspects embraced has really taken the summer reading into our summer experience.
Yeah, definitely. Did you want to add anything, Becca?
No, she said it great. That is definitely what our goal is. And I think, for children, we want to spark curiosity, and we want to allow them to experience that reading and learning is a lot of fun, and that it's a joyful experience, and you can continue to do that even when you're not in school, and maybe just in a slightly different way, but it can involve the whole family. So
yeah, I also really love how it gives kids and teens an opportunity to really get to know their public library, and know that you guys are there, and that you offer fun things all throughout the year, not just summertime. And I just wanted to add just a little bit to any adults watching. There's not adult-specific summer experience programming. Am I correct in that?
that's
Correct.
But there is really fun adult programming at ImagineIF. Anyways, so check that out as well. If a kid or a teen wanted to sign up for one of these programs or get the handout, what do you guys recommend?
So to attend a library program for kids in the children's department, you do not have to register. You can just show up. I'd say visit our website, and you will find the summer experience tab under events, and you can kind of get an idea of what we have going on when those programs are happening at all of our locations. And then if you visit your local ImagineIF library branch, you can pick up your scrapbook, your stickers, and your special writing tool and get started on getting that scrapbook finished. I will say that we're kind of handing out that prize to kids when they come in and sign up. They're getting that experience that they can work on. But in the month of July and August, if kids want to snap a picture of their scrapbook, they can post it onto a gallery on our website, and then I'll do a grand prize drawing at the end of the summer from those entries. And then Starr does have some registration for some of her programs, so I'll let her talk about that.
Yes, I recommend that if any teen wants to participate is to come on in. First thing, grab one of our Teen Expedition game boards. You can't go wrong. Complete those 10 passes and be able to come in and get a prize. Also, on the back of the game board, it tells you all about our programs. The only program that we are requiring registration in advance is the Anime at Dusk, where we're going to be showing the movie outside at Creston National Fish Hatchery, and that's just because the pavilion can only hold so many people. So we definitely want to be good stewards of that space and make sure that we don't go over that number.
Gotcha. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for joining me. You can find out more information about all of the summer experience stuff they have going on at ImagineIF at ImagineIFLibraries.org. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Find out more information, including all upcoming summer experience events and programs at ImagineIFLibraries.org. Let's take a look at what's coming up this week for events in the Valley. Just a reminder that you can find dance classes, painting workshops, live music, and anything community related by going to our events calendar at dailyinterlake.com/events. Join the Northwest Montana History Museum for their high-quality walking tour of downtown Kalispell. Starting today and running every Monday through September, the approximate 2-hour and ADA-accessible tour covers about 1 mile and makes more than 24 stops amid 30-plus highlighted buildings that tell the story of Kalispell's evolution and people. All walks begin and end at the Northwest Montana History Museum. It's recommended for ages 10 and over. Please visit the Northwest Montana History Museum's website for a ticket and walking policies. A signed waiver is required to participate in the tour, provided on site, and museum admission is included with a ticket for the walking tour. On the third Thursday of each month, authors of the Flathead meet for an open reading. Bring something to read or come to support those who do at the A1 Vacuum in Kalispell. Bring 3 to 6 pages double-spaced for comments. The number of pages read depends on how many people want to read. The presiding member makes final decisions on time spent reviewing. Meant to be a fun time for mutual learning, the authors warmly welcome new writers to the organization. They also invite folks to join them at the 2023 Flathead River Writers Conference on September 29th through Sunday, October 1st, which will be held at the Red Lion Hotel in Kalispell. Find details for these events and more at dailyinterlake.com/events. Thanks for joining us. News Now is a new podcast from the Daily Interlake. We're proud to be the largest news gathering operation in the region and the oldest paper in the Valley. Consider becoming a subscriber to support our work. Call Circulation at 406-755-7018 or go to the Manage Subscription tab in the top right corner of our website. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel to never miss an episode of the pod. Everybody stay safe and have a great week.